The movie opens up with a young girl named Haruno Mitsuki, who is an introvert and has difficulty making friends. She prefers to stay alone and becomes nervous whenever she tries to talk to other students. One day, Mitsuki comes across another girl playing basketball named Miyama Ayaka and keeps on looking at her in awe. Unlike Mitsuki, Ayaka is outgoing and has the ability to make new friends easily. Fast forward to high school, despite Mitsuki's dream to make a lot of friends, she fails miserably. Because of her shy nature, she often gets taken advantage of by her classmates and is left to do all the classroom work. One day, while cleaning up the classroom after school, she discovers a male student named Tua Asakura still sleeping on his desk. She tries her best to wake him up, but Asakura does not respond and remains asleep. In frustration, she yells at him before leaving the classroom. It turns out Asakura is one of the most popular and attractive students in the school. He is part of the basketball team along with his close friends, Tada Ryuji, Miyamoto Rui, and Wakamiya Kayasuke. These three boys are well known in the school and are popular among the girls for their good looks and awesome basketball skills. In the next scene, we learn that Mitsuki works at a restaurant after school where she has a good friend named Nanase. As Mitsuki explains her problems to Nanase, the latter encourages her to interact more with her classmates. While working, Mitsuki often notices a little girl sitting alone in the corner of the court holding a basketball. This sight reminds Mitsuki of her own past experiences when she was too scared to approach and play with others. One day, to Mitsuki's surprise, Rui visits her at the restaurant and tells her that someone wants to confess their feelings to her. Hearing this, an excited Mitsuki tells herself that she will soon have a boyfriend. However, when she follows Rui to meet the person, he turns out to be Ryuji. As soon as the latter sees Mitsuki, he yells at Rui, saying that he brought the wrong girl. It turns out Ryuji actually wanted to meet Nanase, and this misunderstanding leads to a small argument between the two boys. At the same time, Asakura recognizes Mitsuki and calls out her name, but she simply ignores him and walks away from there. The next day, following Nanase's suggestion, Mitsuki nervously approaches a classmate named Yamada Reina and invites her to have lunch together. Happy, she rushes to the restaurant to inform her friend about it, only to find Asakura and the boys waving at her. It's revealed that they are there to chat with Nanase and also to apologize to Mitsuki for what happened the other day. From then on, they start visiting the restaurant frequently. One day, Mitsuki sees the same little girl sitting alone on the corner of the basketball court. This time, she decides to take action. Mitsuki approaches the little girl and encourages her to be confident. She also tells her to talk to the rest of the group and play with them. Surprisingly and unbeknownst to Mitsuki, Asakura has been listening in on her conversation. Later, Asakura apologizes to Mitsuki and invites her to hang out with his other friends. However, she declines. Mitsuki believes that they are arrogant boys who only want to make fun of others. In response, Asakura explains that they never intended to treat her that way and it was just a misunderstanding. Just then, Mitsuki notices the little girl from earlier playing basketball with the boys, and it turns out Asakura and his friends helped her out. This makes her so happy that she eventually befriends the boys. In the next scene, Mitsuki and Reina can be seen having lunch together, and the former is glad that she no longer has to eat alone. However, during their conversation, she finds out that Reina is so crazy about Asakura and his friends that she will wage war against any other girl who are fond of them. After learning this, Mitsuki decides to distance herself from Asakura and his friends to avoid damaging her relationship with Reina, who is her only female classmate. Unfortunately, one day, when Asakura confronts Mitsuki for ignoring her, Reina sees them together and runs away, believing that Mitsuki lied to her about her relationship with the basketball boys. This forces Mitsuki to come clean to her about everything, and to her relief, Reina understands. She also promises that it will not affect their friendship. Next, Asakura invites Mitsuki and Reina to their upcoming basketball game, which is a preliminary match for the national championship. As the game is about to start, Mitsuki accidentally drops her blue hair tie, which is witnessed by a man with long hair. Soon, the basketball match begins, and while the other students cheer for their respective teams, Asakura's school students remain silent. The audience is mainly girls who are just admiring the moves and looks of the team members. The match gets intense as Asakura's team falls behind by a few points. Seeing her team losing, Mitsuki suddenly loses her inhibitions, stands up, and begins cheering loudly for Asakura and the team. The audience is surprised by her enthusiasm and passion for the game, so they join in as well. Fortunately, the loud cheering encourages the team, and the boys quickly regain their spirits, giving their all in the game. In the end, Asakura's team manages to score the winning point, and the crowd erupts with cheers and applause. After the match, Asakura approaches Mitsuki and thanks her for cheering. At the same time, Mitsuki unexpectedly runs into her childhood friend, Miyama Ayaka, who hands her the hair tie she previously lost. However, Mitsuki is surprised to discover that Ayaka is not a girl, but a handsome guy. She was mistaken all her life. As he comes closer to Mitsuki and hugs her, Asakura and the other boys realize that Ayaka is an important person to Mitsuki. It is also revealed that Asakura has started harboring feelings for her, so he appears to be really jealous. Later that night, Ayaka visits Mitsuki outside her restaurant and confesses that he was purposely hiding the fact that he was a boy because he still wants to be friends with her. He mentions that he will always be there for her if she needs help. As the days pass, the two boys become rivals for Mitsuki's affection. One day, Ayaka challenges Asakura to a basketball match. However, the latter refuses, and he instead begins avoiding Mitsuki in the following days. Kyosuke, one of Asakura's friends, realizes what's going on and invites Mitsuki to join their group conversation so she can reconnect with Asakura. During their next match, Ryuji plays arrogantly and injures himself, causing the team to lose the game. After the match, he realizes his mistake and takes the blame. However, he scolds Mitsuki for shouting aimlessly during the match when she should have been cheering them on. When the group is returning home that night, everyone discusses their dreams, and Mitsuki tells the boys about her dream of taking part in an essay competition. Hearing this, Asakura's heart softens for her, and he encourages her to follow her dreams. Later, he also offers to walk Mitsuki home. The two become closer during their walk, and Mitsuki even invites Asakura to walk her home again in the future. It appears that she has started liking him as well. The day after the match, Asakura, Rui, and Kyosuke come to Mitsuki and reassure her that she shouldn't feel guilty about the team's loss or Ryuji's reaction. Kyosuke explains that Ryuji is just sensitive because of the unfortunate events of the day. They also tell Mitsuki that she is a valuable friend to them and that their friendship doesn't need to be broken because of small things. As summer vacation approaches, Mitsuki makes more friends in her class, which makes Asakura happy and relieved. One day, Mitsuki is called to the staff room where a teacher asks her to represent their school in a short essay writing competition. At first, Mitsuki is hesitant because of her childhood memories of her classmates laughing at her. However, when Asakura encourages her to give it a try, she agrees. At night, Mitsuki is writing her essay for the competition when Ayaka suddenly calls her. He asks her out on a date to watch the fireworks festival together. As expected, Mitsuki agrees, and she soon arrives at the festival. There, she meets Ayaka, and the two spend the evening together watching the celebration. However, Nanase spots them together and immediately informs Asakura about it. The latter is devastated, but he chooses not to react. Meanwhile, at the festival, when the fireworks celebrations begin, Ayaka confesses his love for Mitsuki, leaving her confused and unsure how to respond. He even tells her that he has liked her since childhood and kisses her on the lips. Before departing, Ayaka informs Mitsuki that he will be waiting for her reply. The following day at Mitsuki's workplace, Rui and the other boys tease her, connecting her name with Ayaka. Later, Rui tells Mitsuki that they do not approve of her relationship with Ayaka, but would not object if she chooses to be with him. He assures her that he will continue being her friend, no matter what. The following morning, while trying to find inspiration for the essay, Mitsuki spends her time thinking about Asakura and Ayaka. However, she struggles to decide who she really loves. Meanwhile, the two boys have a one-on-one basketball match, with Ayaka proving to be superior and more skilled. He easily dominates his rival and wins the face-off. With this defeat, Asakura realizes that he needs to become stronger if he wants to be better than Ayaka and win Mitsuki's heart. He then goes to Mitsuki and promises to become stronger. Later, Mitsuki's homeroom teacher informs her that she won the essay writing competition. She now has been invited to an event to present her essay to an audience. The teacher also reveals that the event is on the same day as Team Asakura's basketball game, and Mitsuki will not be able to attend the match. After the announcement, Mitsuki is ecstatic, but she is also a bit nervous because she has to speak in front of a large audience. However, Asakura, who is always with her, encourages her to be confident. As the days pass, Asakura and his team work really hard for the competition as they desperately want to win it. On the other hand, Mitsuki can be seen preparing for her presentation when she receives a call from Ayaka. He wants her to give him a reply about his confession. However, Mitsuki still seems unsure about her feelings for Ayaka. The following day, Mitsuki arrives at the presentation hall, and simultaneously, the basketball team enters the court. Despite feeling nervous and stumbling in her opening delivery, Mitsuki recovers and presents her essay very well in front of a huge audience. In the essay, she has written about how meeting Asakura and his friends has transformed her life, making it more colorful and inspiring her to be honest with herself and others. After the presentation, and without even waiting for the audience's response, Mitsuki rushes to the basketball court to support Asakura's basketball team. As soon as she reaches there, she begins cheering for Asakura and her friends. Her cheering helps the boys regain their confidence and change the course of the game. In particular, Asakura is the most reinvigorated, and he even scores the winning basket. With this, the team not only wins the match, but also the whole competition. After the game, Mitsuki meets Ayaka outside and tells him that though he is a valuable friend, she cannot reciprocate his romantic feelings and accept him as her boyfriend. Surprisingly, even after the heartbreaking confession, Ayaka is not angry. In fact, he accepts Mitsuki's decision and tells her that she is an important person to him and will always stand behind her in support. The scene then fast forwards to the New Year's Eve celebration, where Mitsuki visits the theme park with Asakura, his friends, Nanase, and Reina. Here, Asakura confesses his feelings for Mitsuki and mentions that he wants to be by her side forever. She happily accepts his proposal, and the two share a passionate kiss. The movie ends with the group celebrating the new year together, watching the fireworks.